With an interest rate above 7% through April 2022, Series 1 savings bonds are now offering a guaranteed return that is in line with conservative expectations of what investors can expect from the stock market based on its performance over the last 50 years. Now the question is, how can you buy I-bonds? We'll find that out in today's video. Why we're suddenly hearing about I-bonds? Actually, I-bonds aren't new, but they're gotten more enticing than ever. The interest rate is linked to one of the US government's measures of inflation, the CPI-U, which has been trending upward in recent months. I-bonds are now paying more than they have in a long time for the same reason that Social Security benefits will receive a 5.9% increase as a cost of living adjustment in 2022. In summary, it combines a fixed rate, currently 0%, and a variable rate, both of which are updated every 6 months in November and May. Since May of 2008, the fixed rate has been less than 1%, and it has not risen above 2% since 2001. The variable rate, on the other hand, has never been lower than minus 5.56% per year during the Great Recession and has never been higher than it is now, which is 9.62% since I-bonds were first issued in 1998. The interest rate is expected to rise to 9.62% for purchases made between May and November 2022. It's worth noting that the interest rate on every I-bond ever issued is updated every 6 months. Every I-bond purchased during the first 2.5 years they were available is now paying more than 10% annualized for the next 6 months. Where and how to buy I-bonds? Savings bonds are only issued electronically, meaning no paper bonds are issued. You can buy savings bonds through the payroll savings plan or buy direct if you're decided to buy I-bonds. You can do so from the Treasury Direct website, and from there you can follow these steps. But before we continue, go ahead and click the subscribe and like buttons. It takes a lot to make these videos. Your small actions tell YouTube to keep promoting our videos. Also, tell us in the comment section why you would consider to invest in I-bonds. Thanks. Now back to the video. Go to the Treasury Direct website. Step 1 is to navigate to the Treasury Direct website. This is where you will have to build your profile by selecting Individual or My Accounts from the drop-down menu. In the middle of the page, you're going to have to click the link Open an Account. Apply. The next step is to click on the Apply Now button. In this part, you will be brought to an overview screen that would explain the entire process in detail. There are links to other tutorials if you're more of a visual learner, and you're going to have to click on the blue button that says Apply Now, which is located near the bottom right of the screen. Select a type of user account. Once you're done with the first 2 steps, you'll have to choose the appropriate type of account that you'll be using. Purchases made as individuals, which happen to be the most usual scenario, should be indicated by clicking the first circle, which means that you are purchasing as an individual rather than as a business or a trust. If you're not making a purchase as an individual, then you'll just have to select the relevant circle. Once you've made your option above, scroll down to the bottom and click the Submit button. Fill in the blanks with your information. Step 4 is where you need to fill out all the necessary information, and yes, this is the most time-consuming step. Of course, it can be more simple if you have all of the relevant information on hand, which includes your Social Security number or EIN if you're a business, your state-issued identification card, and your bank account details. Make a list of everything you want to do. For the next step, you're going to have to list down what you want to do with I-bonds. You have to make sure that, number 1, you have supplied the correct Social Security number or employer identification number. Number 2, that you have not subject to backup withholding. You'd know if you were. And number 3, that you are a legitimate citizen of the United States as defined by the IRS. If all the above is true, you can then click on the Submit button. Complete the account. Once you've submitted everything, congratulations! You have completed the first step. The Treasury Department will then welcome you to your brand new account, which is immediately available for use. Choose Buy Direct and Series 1. Don't get too excited. Remember that you've come here to purchase some I-bonds. After you've turned the menu bar at the top orange by clicking on Buy Direct, Select the circle next to Series I under Savings Bonds. The good thing about this website is that it has a breakdown of the similarities and differences between Series I and Series EE bonds for those who are interested. EE bonds are not inflation adjusted and currently pay 0.10% as of November 20th, 2021. Once you've made your selection, click Submit at the bottom and make sure to select Series I unless you want to forfeit 7.02% in interest. Figure out how much you want. A few things that you need to keep in mind. The minimum purchase price for an electronic bond is $25. For paper bonds, you'll have to purchase them in denominations of $50, $100, $200, $500, and $1,000. Also, you can only buy up to $10,000 in electronic bonds per calendar year, but you can use your tax refund to buy up to $5,000 in paper bonds, bringing your potential total to $15,000 per Social Security number per calendar year. The most straightforward method is to invest $10,000 all at once. But if that's too much for you, you can set up scheduled purchases at regular or irregular intervals. Once you've decided the amount, you'll have to indicate the purchase price and date. Remember, you've already indicated your bank information in the previous step, so make sure that the correct account is selected and the source of funds in the drop-down box. In terms of timing, as long as your money is received before the end of the month, you will receive interest for that month. Investing on the 1st of the month earns no more interest than investing on the 31st. Having said that, there could be a delay of several business days, so the ideal setup is to plan your purchase for a week before the end of the month. When redeeming I-bonds, it is best to do so early in the month. You don't earn any extra interest if you keep your investment open past the 1st of the month. Examine and submit. You're almost there, but before you complete it, check everything to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. If you made an error, go to the bottom and click Edit to fix it. If everything looks good, click Submit. Congratulations! In just a few minutes, you'd be able to schedule your first I-bond purchases. The following screen should be a confirmation of what you've done. You will also receive an email confirmation from treasury.direct@fiscal.treasury.go. After your investment is complete, you can add a beneficiary to the account. You can also check Treasury Direct's frequently asked questions if you find yourself confused about what you're doing. Savings bonds are typically credited to your Treasury Direct account within 1 business day of purchase. If you choose a non-business day for your purchase date, they will adjust it to the next available business day.